What is up, guys? Andrew here, and welcome to Comicbooker, all things comics from a creator. So October is almost over, and this particular October has been quite different from my Octobers of the last 5 years. For many reasons, I'll leave the 2020 jokes out because you probably heard them all before. My usual mode for the month of October is very outward facing, with me usually engaging in a 31-day prompt-driven daily illustration challenge by the name of Inktober. This means a general materials theme, ink, watercolors, iPad, a rigorous daily deadline, and some drawing prompts, like this. I know, it's the very definition of unnecessary and silly, but man, is it so fun. Here's a gallery of the drawings I did for Inktober 2018, in sequence. You'll notice there's 32 drawings here rather than 31. I did an extra as a kind of victory lap when I finished the whole thing. Also, I broke my leg and was bedridden for most of that month, so that may have contributed to my success. Your mileage may vary, but for me, Inktober has been such a useful exercise as an artist. It's allowed me to test my visual problem-solving skills daily in a structured manner, but one that's loose enough that I can still play around with it. It's also helped me practice working towards a deadline. Lord knows you can't practice this enough. And as a big bonus, it's allowed me to connect with a whole bunch of artists online, fellow artists who are also into this, what do we call it? Let's call it creative masochism. They're still doing it this October. If not Inktober, then Drawloween or Drawtober or Creamtober or one of the many splintered variants online. As a side note, maybe because of the recent controversy, I feel like there are more Inktober variants online than there have been in the past few years. I even made a comic about it, emulating the legendary Floyd Gottfredson of Mickey Mouse fame. All of this to say that I haven't participated in any art challenge this October because I wanted to focus on my comics work. Doing a single illustration a day definitely has its challenges, but I feel like it's nowhere near the amount of thought and effort required to tell a coherent, cohesive, sequential narrative. And in past years, I'm afraid I've been guilty of indulging the former in order to avoid doing the latter. So, what have I done so far this month? Well, I just finished a 5-page comic that's been sitting on my desk for almost a whole year, and it's been nagging me throughout the whole quarantine. It's called No Boy and the Inside Ocean of Why. It's that rainbow mummy I mentioned in my first YouTube video. And I'm just really excited for people to read it. It's also one of the few comics I've done completely on the iPad, so I'm really excited to do a process video on it, coming up soon. I also did a trio of short comics just for Instagram. I'll link to them down below so you can check them out, and I have a couple more lined up. These are just fun little low-pressure strips that I'm doing to get the flow going on the heavier projects. Speaking of which, that 200-page graphic novel that I mentioned before, let's give it a code name. Let's call it Project Broken Ticker. It's really picked up steam again this month. I've been dedicating a solid chunk of time to this each morning, and it's been really moving along. I should be done with roughs through page 132 by the end of the year, which should close out Act 2 and just set me up for a big multi-climax conclusion. Also, I have this super awesome 6-page comic that I'm working on with another writer. Let's call it Project Virtue. As someone who's been writing and drawing his own stuff for basically forever, it's really nice to be able to step back and just focus on the visuals and not worry too hard about the role of being a writer. It's a different mindset to get into, but I think it's a really useful one because I really see myself collaborating with other writers in the future. More on that in a few weeks. So yeah, no Inktober for me this month. I still get a little jealous when I boot up Instagram and I see all the beautiful artwork people are making and all the creative things they're doing. But, you know, after 5 years of doing it to varying degrees of success, it's nice to just kind of step back for the month and use the vibe of it to focus on my own comics work. So it's still working every day. It's still, you know, inking and drawing every day, but it's just more directed at comic stuff. Next year though, oh man, I definitely want to do another X-Men fan art series. I had so much fun doing that for Inktober last year, and this year, well, let's just say the X books have been really inspiring, and I can't wait to draw some sword-wielding X-Men and a Rocky. Hope you're all having a lovely month. Let me know what you're doing for October. You know, are you doing Inktober? Are you not doing Inktober? Are you taking a break? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give me a like, a subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And yeah, talk soon. Until next time, this is Andrew. Peace.